It's our security and intelligence agencies who are charged with and typically perform very well in assessing what threats we face, including from foreign powers. And the government is going to respond to this, amongst other things, actually, looking at additional powers to deal with the activities of hostile states with a piece of legislation potentially which takes the form of foreign agent registration. It's similar to laws that are in existence in the US and Australia. So that's one of the pieces of work that we'll be taking forward, and you'll be hearing more about that in the weeks to come. Yes, I don't really buy that characterization. And let's not forget, this report was written in a specific context by not the current chair of the Intelligence and Security Committee, but by former chair Dominic Grieve, who had some what in the end turned out to be quite, I don't want to use the word extreme in the wrong way, but specific views about all manner of issues, including the, of course, outcome of the 2016 EU referendum. And when you read the report, you can see it's been written in that context. I don't agree that the government has been ignoring these things, not for one moment. In fact, I know as a cabinet minister, I receive security briefings every single week. And where action needs to be taken, it is taken. Our intelligence and security agencies are amongst, if not the best in the world. And they have not taken their eye off the ball. There is more, though, that we can always and should always be doing as a country. And that's why we welcome the publication of this report, and we will and are looking at powers that could be used to help as the nature and shape of this threat changes to challenge what's been happening with Russia and others. I don't agree. For example, we set up cybersecurity monitoring in the past few years, and even offensive cybersecurity activity in the last few years, which you couldn't describe as ignoring the threat at all. And actually, the other thing is that whereas there has been a lot of anti-Western activity emanating now, we know, from Russia, we saw that directly in the French elections and in the US elections. But we haven't seen that specifically in the UK elections. We happen to have, by nature, a pretty secure method of voting, which happens to be paper-based and makes it much harder to hack, for example. But there's lots of work that the security agencies do in order to keep us protected and keep on top of this. And we obviously need to make sure that we continue to do that in the future.